Hi, if you have ever tried doing a plank position and you've hurt your back, or you're a woman over 40, 50 and want to start strength training at home, and you know that plank is one of the greatest positions to start with to strengthen all the body and our pelvic floor, this video is for you because I will guide you through all the steps on how to learn your plank from zero without hurting your back and without hurting your wrists and shoulders. Hi, my name is Anna and I'm a menopausal coach and yoga teacher. And this video is about plank, one of the most, I would say, misunderstood exercises, as everyone is doing it, but there are so many common mistakes that can lead to having a low back pain, wrists and shoulder pain if you're doing this exercise regularly with the wrong technique. And with a special attention always to pelvic floor is one of the most valuable exercises for strengthening our pelvic floor. So let's start. So when we do our plank, the key to this posture is to make your body work as one piece, one single piece, one unit, when there's no division, there's no breakdown at the lower back line, and you actually feel your body working as a whole piece. So how can we do this? We need to do at the same time some activation of our abdomen. We activate the abdomen, we activate and squeeze gently our pelvic floor. We push the floor with our arms actively. We're not using them as a support, but we're actually pushing all the time. And the last element, which is so important, is our legs that should be very active. When all the body is active, we can feel it as one piece. But I'll break it down step by step in a second. If you haven't seen yet, go and watch my push-up tutorial made for women from zero, starting with the simplest push-up and ending up with a complete push-up. So, when we're doing our plank, there are some weak points, there are some problems that many women can have. The first problem is the wrist. The wrist is quite delicate and it is not made for bearing heavy weights. So if you have some wrist discomfort, if you have wrist pain, you definitely shouldn't accept it. We need to change something because we don't want to have wrist pain of any type. So the first thing that we can do is we're grasping our yoga blocks and use them, positioning our arm this way. I'm actually holding my block with the fingers and I'm placing this one at the center. So this is the way I'm using my block, and then I can do my variation of the plank. That can be this one, this one, this one. I'll show it later. So this is the first correction that we can do. The second correction that I actually consider to almost anybody, because if you don't have strong shoulder, if you have ever had a shoulder pain or instability, you will definitely find this position more stable and more secure for your shoulder if you do it not the way maybe you have heard so many times, to place your wrist exactly under your shoulder. So if you move it a little bit forward so that your wrist is a little bit forward and not exactly under your shoulder, in this position we will find a perfect 90-degree angle between our body and our arm, and this is the perfect position for shoulder stability. So without changing the effect of the posture. And now with these two corrections in mind, we will start with a wall plank. This is the simplest version that will learn you how to actually position your body and how to learn to feel it as one piece. And it's exactly the same technique we're using when we're trying to learn push-ups. It's a starting position for wall push-ups as well. So the body as a whole piece, that is the key of the plank, of doing plank in an effective way without hurting your back. So how can we grasp this concept that may sound a bit strange. When I'm saying body as a whole piece, what I mean is that you don't have to feel any kind of pressure and discomfort and sensation of breaking down around your lower back. How can we do it? We need to try using the table or a wall. So we put our palms at the shoulder level, or maybe a little bit lower than the shoulder level. When I'm standing on my toes, I'm trying to simulate the position in which many women are actually doing their plank, hurting their back. So when your belly is relaxed, even more if you are naturally a person with a pronounced lordosis, so you have this kind of natural curve in your lower back. So in this position, I start feeling discomfort in my lower back. So this is kind of position many women have in their plank. To change it and to actually feel the body as a whole piece, we need to do some things. 3 things actually. I need to activate my abdomen, so I'm pulling it inside, trying to imagine that I'm pulling it inside and a little bit towards the head. That will help me to actually rotate my pelvis with my coccyx that is looking down now. So before, in this position, it was like a little tail looking up. When I'm changing this position, activating my abdomen, this tail starts looking down. And the third thing I need to do is to activate my legs. So I'm contracting my quadriceps and making my whole leg, 2 legs actually, very strong. So this is the correction from here, with the lower back in pain and tension, to here. And this action will give you the sensation that your whole body is one unit. Before, you were having the upper part, a break, and your legs. 2 pieces become one. Activating abdomen, legs, pulling your tail down. And with this technique in mind, we can move on down to the floor. So we're using our blocks if you need it. And definitely you probably want to use the position when your wrist is not directly under your shoulder. This position is more difficult, not only for the shoulder, as it is less stable, but it's also more extreme for your wrists, as here we have a very, even less than 90 degrees angle at your wrist. So too much flexion for many women, especially after menopause. So how can we find this position? From here, you look where your shoulder is actually above your wrist, and then you move it at about 7-10 centimeters. So this is the position. From here we can start. And we actually want to do our plank with our knees on the floor. Move your knees a little bit away from your wrists and try to recall the thing that we have done at the wall. So if I relax my belly, I get this pain immediately in my lower back. So what I'm doing here, I cannot activate my legs, but I can activate my belly, and I can pull my tail down, trying to enlarge, trying to flatten my back and to keep the belly active. And the thing I need to do here, as we are at the floor, I need to push the floor actively all the time. That's why you don't need to stay in your plank for minutes and minutes so that the posture can become passive. It should be active. You better stay here for 10 seconds, but actively pushing the floor and doing all the things you need to do, and then rest and then repeat. It's so much better than standing here for 2 minutes in a passive position, making your wrists and your lower back suffer. So this is the first step. Here we recall and we train our technique, and then actually we are moving to the plank. So I always recommend to start with one leg, because what we need to do is to pull our tail down, activate the abdomen, and then we need to activate the leg. So if you start with only one, you can try try it like this. Make this movement that is actually helping you to activate this leg, and then you put it down, push, pull, active abdomen, active leg, and then we change the leg. Trying with the other one. So I'm staying here, pushing, I'm active, and I'm feeling my whole body. Okay, and now we're ready to try the whole plank. Push, pull the abdomen, pull the tail down, and then active legs, the whole body. Breathe and stay here for 10 seconds at the beginning, even less if you feel that you're losing control, and then rest. You can rest in this position. That will help you to get rid of any tension if you have some in the lower back. We can repeat now. Push, abdomen, tail, active legs, and breathe. And then rest. And of course, all that I've said is 100% valid for this kind of plank, where the difference is that we are not using our wrists. So we're not putting weight on our wrists, but we are still pushing the floor. It's a little bit different from pushing the floor with your palm, but it's the same action and all the body doing the same thing. That is the kind of plank that makes your whole body work the same way, but just take off the work from your wrists. So do it if you have any problem or acute pain in your shoulders or your wrists in the full plank. And I want you to see also some common mistakes, because if you can do this posture, this practice at the mirror, it will help you a lot. It is so common that we are thinking of doing one thing and actually doing the other thing, because we are not actually 100% aware of our body position in the space. So the first common mistake, you've got it, it's when we actually breaking our back, when the belly is relaxed, when there is this kind of position, the tail that is looking up, our legs that are doing nothing, and we stay in this kind of zigzag plank. This is the position, and this kind of plank will definitely give you a lower back pain. The other kind of plank, that is banana plank, like this one. Also here we can have a lower back tension, but even more we have tension in the wrists, because all the weight is actually on your wrists here. It's quite difficult to push the floor in this position, so you're actually hanging on your shoulders and on your wrists. So these are two planks that you shouldn't do, because it will hurt you. And the third mistake is actually doing this kind of plank marathons. When every day you add time and doing 1 minute plank, 2 minutes plank, 3 minutes, it can be a real problem for your body if your technique is not perfect. Start with 10 seconds. These two mistakes we can actually correct the same way with the same right technique I just showed you. From here, we need to activate our legs, our belly, push the floor, and come here. And from here, we need to do the same. Tail down, our pelvis a little bit closer to the floor so that our body is one line. And this is the correction. So start with 10 seconds. Start at the wall. Watch my other tutorials. Subscribe to my channel and leave me your comment if you want to ask something or share your personal experience.